Hi, AJ Hartley here, novelist, Shakespeare professor, fan of many things. And if you've stumbled on this channel, you may be forgiven for asking what on earth is going on here, because most channels on YouTube are very focused and specific. It's like, hey, I'm Mike, I'm a fridge repair guy channel, or whatever. That's not what you're going to get here. This is the stuff I care about channel. As I say, I'm an academic, scholar, and a creative writer, but I'm also a nerd and a geek and a hobbyist and an enthusiast. That's the best word for it. Things that I'm passionate about or interested in. And I cover all of that stuff on this channel. So what I would say is, if you are new here and you've stumbled on something that you found interesting and you're interested in checking out some of the other things, first, of course, like, comment, subscribe, which I always say at the end of the video, but I'll say it here. Go into the channel and look at the playlist tab, and you'll see a bunch of seemingly random things where I group together the videos on various different subjects, because here you're going to find me talking about Japanese rock music, the craft of writing as a novelist. You're going to hear about TV shows and other kinds of music and various sort of projects. Some of the time it's just going to be me. Some of the time it's going to be me in conversation with other people, such as...
Hi.
Hey man, how you doing?
I'm good. I was just talking to the president real quick.
And
Yeah, it's an honor to do this, because I really love this band, Atara Shikako.
But it's a mix. You're gonna come here, 1 week I will post something on something like this.
So we're at Bempton Cliffs RSPB Reserve on the Yorkshire coast, and these are gannets.
And the next week might look something like this. So it's fairly random, but this is who I am. And I am tired of pretending that this is a weakness. It's a strength, and I'm going with it. So yeah, I'm going to talk about a lot of things. And some of it may interest you more than others, and feel free to skip the stuff that you don't care about. But yes, I'm a hybrid. I have always been a hybrid. My interests are hybrid. So that's what I talk about. And if there's a through line to all of this stuff, it's that because of my experience and my temperament and my training, there's a reflective quality which you don't always get on the internet. I try to process things, and I try to ask the kind of how and why questions that I think don't always get asked. For example, in reaction videos to music, there's a lot of great reactors out there who are super enthusiastic about what they're playing, what they're listening to. And some of them are really good at nailing particular moments and saying, here's why this is particularly great. Here's why I respond to it. But I tend to sort of try to be a little bit more thoughtful in processing meaning. That's what I care about. With all of this stuff, I'm constantly asking, why does this matter? Why do I like it? Why does it speak to me? What's really cool about this that I want to share with other people? That's what I'm going to do on this channel, pretty much no matter what I'm talking about. So if that interests you, then, as I say, check out my stuff. I guess I should say something about who I am, just so that you know what you're getting into. I've lived in many places. I'm originally from the UK. I was born in Preston in Lancashire. And I lived there and went to school first up in the northeast and then in Manchester. And then I went to Japan and I lived there for a couple of years. And this is part of the roots of a lot of the things that I'm interested in terms of Japan, because, as I say, I lived there. My wife is Japanese American. My in-laws are all Japanese, and we go back a lot. So that's part of why I have a lot of interests in their area. But I'm also, as I say, a Shakespeare professor. I got my MA and PhD at Boston University once I moved to the US. And for 30 years, I was a university professor I was trained as a literary historicist and cultural materialist, but I became more of a performance theory and practice guy in the course of my career. I worked in Georgia. I worked for Georgia Shakespeare, for the theatre company, for 12, 13 years. And then in the last part of my career, I spent the last 18 years at UNC Charlotte in a theatre department, but also teaching classes in English. So, you know, I'm a hybrid even academically, because, as I say, I'm a literary person, but I'm also a theatrical person. And those two things are very different. And there are surprisingly few people who do both. So that's that side of my identity. The other side is that I've been a creative writer for the last, 40 years. And I've published, as I said, what did I say, 26? I lose count because something is always in process and going to come out next year or the year after, whatever. So I've published 26 novels. I write in a variety of genres because, again, I'm a hybrid and I jump around. So I write mystery and thriller and fantasy and science fiction and various combinations of those. I write for kids. I write young adult. I write adult. I write as AJ Hartley and I write as Andrew Hart. I write solo. I also have written stuff in collaboration with other people, including David Hewson, who's a British mystery writer, who I did some Shakespeare adaptations with, and also with Tom DeLonge of Blink-182. We have a number of projects. We've been working together for 10 years, and we do primarily sort of sci-fi stuff, Secret Machines, Cathedrals of Glass, Trinity just came out, and more things to come. So, and yes, I've won awards. I'm a New York Times bestseller, and all the rest of it. I've had books that came out in 28 languages worldwide. And I talk here a lot about writing, and I field questions about writing, and I bring in other writers and such from time to time as well. So that's another part of my identity. But as I say, a lot of what I talk about here is simply stuff that I'm passionate about, things that I'm interested in, everything from baby metal and Atarashi Gakko to model railways and who knows? It's an adventure. It's a journey. So if any of this interests you, stick around, and I promise to try to raise things that you might care about or convince you why you should care about them, because that's what teachers always do. That's it. So yes, please like, comment, subscribe, check out my Patreon page where I have patrons who, among other things, tell me the things that they care about, and where we have overlapping interests. That helps to shape what I put on this channel. The channel itself is not monetized, so the Patreon page is the only way I make anything out of this. Check out my books. I have a little merchandise site as well where I put goofy t-shirts and things. And that's all. So welcome, and I hope you stick around and come back. Thanks. Bye for now.